Hey Super Captain Brave fam, thanks for joining me on the blog, and if you're new here to Super Captain Brave Man, welcome. I'm Nurse Leah, and I'm here with a video all about the exciting adventures we took with Kyle aboard the Disney Wonder cruise ship. As you can probably imagine, taking care of Kyle is a group effort, with Kyle being ventilator dependent and wheelchair bound. Family and friends, as well as a litany of doctors, nurses, and specialists, make up this amazing community. Every person is a vital cog in Kyle's development, health, and happiness. So you can bet that when Kyle reached a milestone 13th birthday in 2019, we had to do it up big. Jen, Kyle's mom, had the great idea of a family vacation. Now, for most families, planning a family trip can be pretty easy. The list is usually making sure everyone can get time off of work, wrangling pet sitters, and packing sunscreen. The checklist for extended vacations when having a person with disabilities in your family can look a bit different. A quick disclaimer, the information in this video is based on our own experience and, to our knowledge, correct as of January 2020. Procedures and amenities may change when the cruise lines relaunch. When the idea of taking a short 3-day cruise down the California and Mexican coast came up, you can bet that Team Kyle had to put our collective heads together to find out if it was even possible. We knew that the first people to talk to were Kyle's health team. Jen spoke to Kyle's doctors to ask if traveling was advisable for him. Once we got the okay and understood the necessary precautions, Kyle could go on the trip. Team Kyle started researching the process of taking a person with adaptive needs onto a cruise ship. Travel agents are a great resource and an avenue to use when you can. Lots of times they have exclusive deals and information for families looking to enjoy every second of their vacation. But there were particular questions that we had that needed a little more research. While questions like where are the best places to get fish tacos in Ensenada are very important, our queries were more like, are we permitted to bring our own oxygen tanks? More on this later. We were in uncharted waters, pun intended, and looked for information wherever we could find it. We looked into every aspect of the cruise, from scouring travel blogs and YouTube reviews of the wheelchair-accessible staterooms, to contacting the Disney Cruise Line directly and asking questions that catered to Kyle's specific needs. We poured months of researching into ensuring that if we went on this trip, Kyle would be as safe as possible. Since the cruise would take us down to Ensenada, Mexico, the first order of business was getting Kyle a U.S. passport. Well, passports for everyone coming on the trip. When I say that Team Kyle was going on this cruise, not only did I mean Kyle and his family. The nurses dedicated to Kyle's care and their kids were invited too. We had an impressive group of 11 members joining Kyle on this excursion. There was Super Captain Braveman and birthday boy himself, Kyle. Super Mama Jen. Super Captain Brave Dad, Paul. Superb Sis Honor. Captain Corey, the Victor Soldier, the Marvelous Miss Bridget, Sensational Sam, Quickster Jax, Rambunctious Remy, and me, Leah the Wordsmith. Wrangling a group of 11, 3 being kids and 8 being really big kids, was going to be a challenge. But as far as big challenges go, there isn't anything the Super League can't tackle. Passports sorted, we could now fill out the necessary forms to ensure Kyle's safety on the trip. Let's talk about documentation. The Disney Cruise Line has a section on their website dedicated to answering the questions of guests with disabilities and what accommodations are available for their needs. Be aware that these forms and procedures can take months to finalize, so give yourself plenty of time to get this done once you've chosen a departure date. Again, this information is from 2019, so rules and forms may have changed. The site only answered so many questions. Jen and I found a lot of our specific requests were best suited to speaking on the phone with the Disney Cruise Line cast member to get clarification on several key areas. What we were directed to was the Request for Special Services form. It's a document that the Disney Cruise has crafted that helps guests with disabilities cut through the red tape through different ports of call. Depending on your destination, Disney will then provide you with the links and information needed to fill out to make sure that you can travel safely and legally. The Request for Special Services form covers requests that include plans to bring specific medical equipment, a request for distilled water, which we absolutely need for Kyle and was provided every day by the cruise line, a need for electrical power and supplies deliveries, the need for a wheelchair-accessible room, wheelchair-accessible ground transportation at ports of call, train service animal notification. Permits are required for every country and port you'll be sailing to and can take weeks or months to process, so please be aware of that. Also, the animal needs to be trained with the proper documentation for their roles. Plans to travel with an oxygen concentrator and other oxygen-related needs. Requests for guests who have hearing disabilities like stateroom smoke detectors with strobe lights and an American Sign Language interpreter for select shipboard shows and entertainment. Requests for guests with visual disabilities like audio descriptive devices in large print formats for dinner menus and ship itineraries. Severe food allergies like the ones Nurse Victor and my daughter Remy have. On to cruising with medical equipment and navigating a stateroom. Kyle requires 24-hour ventilation and supplemental oxygen. We were informed that we sadly could not bring our own oxygen tanks, but Disney was ready to provide us the contact of a third-party distributor that had a contract with our port of departure. We secured the correct forms and received confirmation that the requested oxygen tanks would be delivered to the dock and placed in our stateroom. Along with the oxygen tanks, we wanted assurance that the equipment we needed to bring could charge safely. Without going into specifics, there are at least 5 pieces of equipment that need to be charged nightly for Kyle's care. All staterooms have outlets, but none have power strips. And you can't bring your own from home due to cruise line regulations. But what you can do is request an extension cord from guest services the moment you board the ship. Unfortunately, when we went, you couldn't reserve one beforehand. Paul, Kyle's dad, was unanimously volunteered to be the one to brave guest services when the time came. Every stateroom has a mini fridge and bathroom with sink, so Kyle's medications and feeding supplies had a place to chill and get cleaned every day. The Disney Cruise Line website has floor plans and pictures of wheelchair-accessible staterooms, but pictures can only tell us so much. That's where Victor came in with his obsession for travel vlogs and did some research. YouTube became a great tool for us to see the accessible staterooms from a guest's perspective, and one of the most informative videos that we watched over and over again was the Disney Wonder Handicap Accessible Stateroom 7138 Tour by Ray Travels. We'll put a link in the description so you guys can check it out. And by coincidence, Kyle's stateroom number on the Disney Wonder was 7636, on the other end but the same floor as the room in the video. More video travel vlogs and online ship diagrams prepared us for the general feel of where and how Kyle could navigate the ship. The practical components taken care of, Team Kyle could focus on the traditional aspects of going on a cruise, and a Disney cruise in particular. One of the best parts of going on a Disney cruise is the themed nights and the dining experiences. This cruise in particular had a Pirates Night scheduled on the itinerary, and if you need to know anything about Team Kyle, you need to know that we love to dress up. We also like to surprise and prank each other, so we kept our individual pirate get-ups a secret. Originally, we were assigned the second dining group seating, where dinner service started at 8 p.m. Having 13, 9, and 8-year-old kids in our group meant that an earlier dining option was preferable. We put in a request for the main dining group, where service started at 5:45 p.m. The day we left port, we were told that our request was granted and our first dinner would be at the restaurant Triton's. One tidbit that we stumbled on when researching for Kyle was the fact that many people decorate their stateroom doors with magnets. Cell service is spotty, even with the onboard app available to the people in your party. A lot of guests have whiteboards with dry erase markers on their doors so they can leave notes for their family. When I saw how amazing these decorations were, I knew that we had to create something special for Team Kyle. Nurse Victor did an amazing job drawing everyone in vacation mode, and I did what I could with MS Paint and printed out some Mickey head decorations and stuck them on magnets I got online. Some guests even take part in a small gift exchange, but with everything else going on, we couldn't contribute to the idea. Next time, we definitely will. So with schedules cleared, passports in hand, and the appropriate forms filled out, a collection of medical equipment, and safety protocols, we had costumes and we had decorations. What came next was autograph books, new swimsuits, and a lot of packing and repacking. Join us next week where I get into the actual story of our trip and not just the practicalities of planning our possibly perilous passage into the unknown, aka family vacation. Until then, stay safe and stay brave, Super Captain Brave fam. We'll see you later.